ball handling and knows where the goals are. Jeff Farmer knows all about that.
Cook is put under a little bit of pressure here. McDonald trying to get it out. Woewodin does. Here they go. Straight into the open goal. Rigoni, number 1. 5 points the margin. Melbourne leading. The 1 goal coming from Rigoni in the opening few minutes. Jeff White's the target of this kick out.
It was a good setup, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
Looking pretty good at the moment, the D's, as White gives it to his captain. Viney looks down towards half-forward. Neitz could be the flyer here. He is David Neitz, but he couldn't take it. The Wizard can't get clear. They're ripping into him.
High tackle paid.
Yeah, they just tilted him too heavily, John, when he hit the ground, didn't they?
Yeah, it looked as though he was grabbed high as he went to the ground, so that was certainly the signal given by the umpire. Here we see it again.
You see Orchard comes in.
Orchard jumps over the top, and that's what it's been paid for, that late contact by Orchard that was above the shoulder.
Yeah, actually, we're blaming Mark Orchard. It was actually Brett Seymour, so Mr. and Mrs. Orchard would be pretty pleased if we could clarify that.
Well, fortunate to get away with that, Melbourne. They've relied on just the long bomb to Neitz. Melbourne and Sydney have also been dropping a number of players back across that area to crowd him out.
Farmer from 48 metres. He gets underneath it. It's going to be very, very close. He's just made the distance.
For football adages.
Yes, never him.
There's Farmer. Uze, I should say. Adam Uze. In towards half-back, and Jeff White, who's a young man in a hurry.
I think if there was an
the
exception, though, Cornsey, Stafford with so much skill would probably be it.
Down towards McDonald, who can run on here. Can he goal from 25 metres? Yes, he can.
I'm comfortable with the play on there.
I think you're very kind of the umpire there, John.
Lyon's kick was smothered. McDonald is also smothered, and Seymour. But there's been a whistle. There's going to be a free kick. Right in front.
Well, Hayden Kennedy signalling to somebody duck their head.
Sorry, Dipper, we didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right, boys.
What was that again?
We're just saying that Troy Cook with an ankle 50-50 at the moment. They will see young McDonald set up for goal.
John was just making something up here at the time.
And he makes no mistake. Melbourne sneak away. 11 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Dale Lewis couldn't take it cleanly. Stein's doing the ruck work. Phoebe threads his way through some heavy traffic. Lewis chases. Phoebe goes for home. He tumbles the punt low, and the mark is finally taken by Garry.
Well, he's a class player. He had a lot of work to do. The ball didn't come off the boot all that well. And you'll see it's tumbling. He's kept his eyes on it and was able to take it going back. His hands are so good.
Once again, though, it was just an enormously quick exit out of the middle by Melbourne, executed by the first hands of White. In fact, it might have been Steins who went in there.
White's off the ground and Steins has come on to replace him.
Lyon for his first for the night. He's done it. This last week with a calf, came into this game with 34 to his name. And this is 221st game.
And maybe Neil Danaher's a bit concerned that Melbourne are just stagnating, so he's thrown Steins in. He's got the tap out of there, and the burst from Phoebe. Well, I think he was shooting at the goals myself, Jared.
On the last line of defence, goes close to the man on the mark. It's stolen by Woewodin. Jeff White, sighting young prospect. Gives it away to Rigoni. Kicked the first goal of the night, Rigoni. Goes down towards half-forward. That was Henderson. Gives it away to Seacamp. An interesting thrust forward. Down towards full forward. Delightful use of the body by Neitz.
They've changed the balance down there, Melbourne. They've pushed Garry Lyon out to centre-half forward, and David Neitz has started that quarter at full forward. And he just isolated him, and it's been Neitz that's had to take the brunt of all the players dropping back for Sydney, so perhaps this will be a match-winning move, because one out is a far tougher opponent, like everyone, than if you have to compete with 3 or 4 extra defenders.
This could be the biggest lead of the night if Neitz is successful. Out to an 18-point break. Kicking from 30 metres. He guides it through for Melbourne. And he pumps him.
He's the one player that everybody admires.
Oh, you should get no argument from that. White.
Well, his athleticism has been on display for everyone here to see.
That is fair enough. That is reasonable. I mean, Greg Stafford was beaten fairly and squarely in the marking contest, and then when White was trying to go back to take his mark, he decided to claim him by the jumper. Jeff White tried to swat him off and was unsuccessful in doing so. Umpire telling Stafford to let go, Stafford refusing. Reasonable to pay the 50.
But the penalty is too savage. I mean, Jared, are you on the rules review committee?
No, Tim Watson and Kevin Bartlett.
They must look at it. I mean, for what happened, for what occurred then, the penalty is just too severe.
Yeah, you're probably right, Cornsey, but certainly, I mean, the mark's taken, it's all over bar the shouting, and then Stafford comes in and grabs him by the jumper. And
Stafford now being taken off by Rodney Eade, who'll just make the point to him that you've got to put it beyond doubt. There's no point for... No, sorry, Sandy.
It's all right,
you're looking at me.
You're pumped. Well, let's watch this, though, because it's a very important kick for the Melbourne Football Club, and he's put it through. That could be a turning point. White gets his first, and he's back in the thick of things again. Stafford is warming the bench. Tingay tries to get it out of the middle. Does so onto the left foot. Seymour got a bad bounce. Things aren't working for Sydney at the moment, but they are for Melbourne. It was crunched after he took it.
It will be paid downfield, and Jeff Farmer will take it from where the ball will not land it, but where he in fact marked the footy.
It's all right then, baby.
And Dunkley getting a pretty severe talking to, and I think the book has come out. If the book has come out, then it'll be a report for charging, I suspect. And yep, the notes are being taken. Garry Lyon just supervising that the spelling's being correctly noted. And that was the replay there of Dunkley actually making contact after the ball had been disposed of. Farmer now lining up from about 20 metres out for what should be a certain...
Should not miss. Melbourne are on their way, one gets the feeling.
Well, the free kick downfield is probably fair enough, but Jared reported for that. Inspiration.
Wharf comes over the top of the spoil. Cook loses it to Lyon. His short little chip is okay to McDonald. On he goes to Tingay. Tingay enjoys this situation. Sneaks away from Creswell. In the full forward of the Wizard. He just arched himself almost inside out.
Well, that was a great mark. Was the kick intended for him? The ball came in. He got elevation. Hands behind the ball, so it didn't get through and held it. Tingay doing the discipline thing. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, Jared. It certainly was centred.
Yes, but Jeff Farmer had no right to take that mark. It was exceptional.
Here he goes for goal. Listen to the roar.
He just stops the team dead.
Ruse, as Jared said, doing the ruck work, beaten, and it's Viney who takes it from Big Jim. Goes down towards Neitz.
Well, he wasn't just beaten, he was beaten point blank, and Jim Stynes created this shot at goal because he just palmed it down pretty cleverly to his teammate. The ball rushes forward, and I think when you're this far down, you've just got to try and win the ball at the loose ball and neutral ball situations, and that would mean you're having your best ruckman into the contest.
David Neitz also going off the long run. McDonald is back out on the ground. Neitz kicking from 46 metres. Lovely kick off the boot. There's another one to the D's.
Face.
Just 3 Melbourne players have had a kick in this quarter today.
Tingay kicks it to half forward. Orchard had it for a moment, then lost it. Sits over it for a long, long time. A long, long time. Big call.
Too long a time, in the umpire's opinion, Sandy.
Just comparing that statistic, 3 Melbourne players now 4 compared to the Sydney Swans, who've had 7 players with single kicks and 2 with a couple of kicks each.
The Wizard goes down towards full forward. They need someone in front. There's a stab at a goal. The steadier they wanted. David Neitz has done it.
Well, they just got it forward. That's all they had to do. There was nothing flash or structured about that. The kick came in. Two players flew for it, and Neitz, who's the player who you would expect to be under it or in the pack, stayed down. The ball came out to him. He fumbled initially, but he's been a very important player, perhaps the most influential player for Melbourne since half-time. I wonder if we can get a replay of that.
Maxfield in trouble. real trouble. Robertson needs a kind spin. It's turning. Yes! Maybe to get out of trouble. The hand pass towards Grgic. He loses it. Woewodin is there for the assist and he does well. Uze's taken out of it. Back to Seacat. Grgic. Seacat. They will get away with it. Woewodin kicks towards centre wing and Cal takes the mark. Off he goes to Woewodin again. He has a look at the umpire, Shane, and he says go. And so he does. Down towards full forward. Farmer is lurking there. He's dangerous. He's clear. He gives it to Lyon. It's only got to sit. Melbourne at home. What a passage of play. And just the goal Melbourne needed. Stein sends them forward once again towards these danger players like Farmer. The Wizard says we're home.
And Gerard, you'll be very pleased that came from Jim Steins getting his hand up, getting it out of the centre.
Well, it's been the foundation of their whole season, the way they've orchestrated their ruckman, and it's worked once again. The fresh legs of Steins has enabled them to maintain their dominance, but the last two goals have come from the exquisite work of Jeffrey Farmer. He got the last one to Garry Lyon, and that one was just an absolute special from a spin and turn on the half-forward line. Now, just have a look at this last goal. Keep your eyes on a very relieved goal umpire because he was nearly bowled middle stump.
Leo Barry, this is a big ask for Roos.
Well, Anthony Anderson has just absolutely slaughtered him today, just dropping back into that hole.
Off he goes to Woewodin and Rigoni in the middle. Wants to get on with it smartly. Back to Woewodin again. Look out! Almost clay from the side. Now watch out for Grgic here. He's tucked in the pocket. He'll snap a goal. That's no snap. That's done beautifully. They're all getting it on the wing.
Still alive.
It is too, as Matthew Phoebe comes out of it eventually. Gives it away to Ingerson. They've both been wonderful tonight. Down towards half forward. Towards David Neitz. Neitz finds Jimmy Steins. Big Jim goes inboard. Is this another goal? McDonald, 49 metres out. Where's Jeffrey White? Cornsey wants him desperately to take the mark, but he can't at the moment. Farmer is there. White is there also. Here's the Wizard trying to get it out. Eventually it does come wide. Seacamp pounces on it. Almost a headlock on one player as Crouch gets the kick. It doesn't travel very far. Woewodin. Shane says, I'll do it for you.
Possessions, and you suspect he could probably be a more important player for Sydney than that.
Stephen Phoebe to Leon Celli, who's come back out onto the ground. He's got Robertson in the middle. It's all over. Melbourne are on their way.
And significant on the bench.
The D's are in the finals. And here comes the grand old